watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. It is Tuesday, October 3rd. And in our top story, we turn to national breaking news as history is made as the House no longer has a speaker. The Speaker of the House, former Speaker now, Kevin McCarthy, is ousted. Congressman Matt Gaetz introduced the motion to vacate, and that House leadership is now vacant as of late this afternoon after Kevin McCarthy teamed with Democrats to pass a 45-day spending plan to avert a government shutdown. Gaetz strongly opposed any short-term spending plan to actually have that happen and accused McCarthy of introducing a secret deal to provide more funding for any other legislation. And that introduction was also followed today by a round of voting, making it the first time since 1860 that a speakership election was stretched out and passed. And that, according to the historians, is now leaving that vacancy in terms of leadership of the House in question. In fact, after today's vote, someone actually spoke out asking, what is next? And that question remains, what is next for Congress? And we will continue to bring you coverage and updated information on that story as it comes to fruition. And turning back now to local news, a motorcycle rider, unfortunately, is involved in a collision, and we have coverage for you now thanks to David Preston.
A single motorcycle traveling westbound on Highway 372 this afternoon, approaching Woodchips Road, has a mechanical failure with the rear tire coming off the bike. The rider of the bike was able to stop on the shoulder of the road. Knight County Sheriff's Office, Nevada Highway Patrol, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. The rider of the motorcycle suffered an injury to his arm, along with cuts and scrapes, and was transported to Desert View Hospital. Traffic was diverted around the crash site. There are no other injuries.
And an update now on an arrest in the Tupac Shakur murder. After 27 years, that arrest has finally been made in that shooting that happened back in the mid-90s. We have information for you now, thanks to RJ Camacho.
On September 29th, shocking news was announced that an arrest was made for the murder of historic rapper Tupac Shakur. This murder has been unsolved since 1996. It all began when Tupac and Marion Suge Knight, the founder of independent hip-hop record label Death Row Records, went to a nightclub after having watched Mike Tyson fight Bruce Seldon in a championship fight. After the match, Tupac, Suge, and those accompanying them got involved in a fight at their hotel. Afterwards, the two were driving down the Las Vegas Strip, which is when a drive-by shooting occurred from a white Cadillac that had pulled up to them while they were stopped at a red light. Shakur and Knight were shot at, and due to Tupac being in the passenger seat, he was hit 4 times by bullets, while Suge was only grazed by bullet fragments or shrapnel. After the shooting, Tupac was immediately rushed to a hospital where he was pronounced dead 6 days later. Now, after 27 years, a man named Dwayne Davis, who also goes by the name Keefe D, was arrested on suspicion of the murder and was indicted on a murder charge. The 60-year-old has been a self-professed leader of the Southside Compton Crips and, according to his indictment, was big in the drug trade elevating his status within the gang. Dwayne Davis and Suge Knight are the only living witnesses of Tupac's shooting. Prosecutors have also stated that Davis had ordered and masterminded the shooting of Tupac. During the night of Tupac's shooting, Lieutenant Jason Johansson with LVMPD Homicide stated that members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson, the nephew of Davis, who was involved in an incident with Death Row Records. When they spotted Anderson, they began to beat on him near an elevator bay inside the MGM resort. According to Lieutenant Johansson, that incident led to the death of Tupac Shakur. After the beating, police have stated that that's when Davis devised a plan to retaliate against Death Row Records. Davis and his nephew Anderson were allegedly in the car that drove up to Suge Knight and Tupac, and according to police, that's when the shooting began. According to reports, Davis allegedly confessed to giving his nephew, Orlando Anderson, the gun in order to shoot Tupac. However, due to the confession being given under a proffer agreement, it could not be used against him, until Davis began talking about doing so in interviews and in his 2019 memoir, which led to officials charging him with the murder. In related news, Suge Knight, the driver of the car that Tupac was shot in, says that he wouldn't testify in court. Suge went on to state, "Me and Keefe D played on the same football team. And whatever the circumstances, if he did have involvement or if he didn't have involvement in anything, I wouldn't wish someone going to prison on my worst enemy." Currently, the trial for Keefe D is ongoing, and News 25 will report the conclusion of the trial once it has been wrapped up.
In other area news, two vehicles are confronted head-on with a truck barreling toward them, which results in a two-vehicle crash. David Preston reports.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
A two-vehicle crash happened late Monday afternoon on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Carberry Lane. A red Dodge Ram 1500 truck was following a Hyundai Santa Fe northbound on Pahrump Valley Boulevard when both vehicles were confronted with a green Ford F-150 that was traveling southbound in the oncoming lane of Pahrump Valley Boulevard. The driver in the Hyundai Santa Fe was able to divert around the Ford F-150, but the driver of the Dodge Ram pickup was unable to, and both the Dodge and Ford sideswiped each other, causing moderate to major damage to both vehicles. Nye County Sheriff's Office and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. The woman driver of the Ford F-150 was given a field sobriety test on scene by deputies. According to the report, it was determined that the woman driver was under the influence of something, but deputies could not say what she was under until further testing could be conducted. There were no injuries, and traffic was not blocked on Pahrump Valley Boulevard since all vehicles were on the side of the road. The woman driver of the Ford F-150 was taken into custody and transported to Nye County Detention Center.
Please be careful out there on the roadways, and the Nevada Department of Transportation is announcing that a portion of Highway 160 will be under construction until late November.
On October 2nd, the Nevada Department of Transportation announced that emergency construction began on Highway 160. The construction is being conducted to repair multiple locations that were damaged when flooding occurred from passing Tropical Storm Hillary on Labor Day weekend. The area of construction will be between Tacopa Road and Cathedral Canyon Road between Pahrump and Las Vegas. In order to ensure safety, traffic control operations will be in place, including one-lane closure, allowing for one lane of traffic in each direction within the work zone, with the speed limit being reduced to 55 miles per hour. The project is set to complete by late November, and work schedules will be 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Mondays through Thursdays, and Fridays being 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. NDOT has stated that they aim to minimize disruptions to the public while addressing critical infrastructure needs.
Don't grab that remote. We have a celebratory story for you, including saluting a 109-year-old former teacher. All that and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, the historic Las Vegas West Side School celebrates its 100th anniversary. The school is now home to Power 88 FM. However, when that school opened back in 1923, there were several students, including African Americans and Native Americans, who were primarily educated there. And during the celebrations this weekend, there was a parade and a celebratory festival afterward. Participants in that parade include the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Raiders. Also in the parade and celebrated was Miss Audrey E. James, a 109-year-old teacher from the historic West Side School who still participates in a scholarship for that school. Among the other participants in the parade were members of Victory Missionary Baptist Church, many of whose members are alumni of the historic West Side School. There were also cultural dances and celebrations from the Paiute tribe, and the Paiute tribe members noted that many children from that tribe were among the first to attend the first iteration of what is now the historic West Side School. Congratulations to everyone involved. Turning back now to other local news, a golf cart strikes a vehicle in Mountain Falls Monday, sending one person to the hospital.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
A single vehicle versus golf cart crash occurred late yesterday afternoon in Mountain Falls. According to eyewitnesses, a husband and wife who were driving the golf cart failed to stop and entered the street and struck the front left tire of a gray Toyota SUV that was driving by. The female passenger of the golf cart was injured and taken to Desert View Hospital by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. The golf cart received front-end damage. The Toyota SUV received minor damage. There were no other injuries.
And reps from Valley Electric Association discuss a program that provides free books to children.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Dolly Partons Imagination Library is a program that provides free books to children from birth to age 5. To participate in the Imagination Library, parents must register their child with the program. Once registered, the child will receive a new book in the mail each month until they reach age 5. These books are age appropriate and selected by a panel of experts. The Imagination Library Partnership has been praised for its impact on children's literacy. Studies have shown that children who participate in the program are more likely to be ready for kindergarten and to have a better reading skills in their life. There are many benefits to enrolling your child in the Dolly Partons Imagination Library. It helps to develop children's early literacy skills. Reading to children from a young age helps them to develop their language skills, vocabulary, and imagination. It also helps them to learn about the world around them. It encourages a love of reading. Children who are exposed to books at a young age are more likely to develop a love of reading that will last a lifetime. It strengthens the bond between parents and children. Reading together is a great way to bond with your child and create lasting memories. If you are interested in enrolling a child in Dolly Partons Imagination Library, please visit our website, vea.coop, under the Community tab.
Don't grab that remote because some country stars are celebrating former President Jimmy Carter's birthday in a rockin' way. We'll be back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, us October babies sure know how to celebrate our birthday. In honor of President Jimmy Carter's 99th birthday week, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood are kicking off a Habitat for Humanity build.
Sunday, October 1st, marked former President Jimmy Carter's 99th birthday. Today in Charlotte, North Carolina, with the help of country music superstars Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, the 37th Jimmy and Rosa Lynn Carter Work project kicked off.
Well, the cool thing about Habitat and the way that Garth and I have been involved over the last 15 years with the Carter Work project has been that we get to build. We get to actually get out and swing a hammer. The house behind us was a slab yesterday, and people kind of might care for a second that you're Garth Brooks or Trisha Yearwood, but they really just want to know, what can you do? Can you pick up a board? Can you use a hammer? And being a part of the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter Work project has been what we've done for the last 15 years, every year. And we feel like even though they're not here, they're here because they are watching and they are making sure everybody's working hard. So we just want to be a part of that, and we've been honored to get to do it. And we love the build. We love to get to know the homeowner that's going to be living in the house. It's just all love.
I think my favorite thing is just the camaraderie. You get to meet people, new people, see people again for the year. But my favorite thing is being right next to the homeowners. They say the seeds of happiness is gratefulness, and you're here and you see the gratefulness in them, which brings out the gratefulness in you, and you realize how spoiled you are. And I think any time to sit there and reflect and just have that good talk with you, with the love of your life, or with your higher power, and just say thank you for the opportunity that I'm given every day, I think that's nothing but a good thing right there.
The goal of the project is to build 27 homes. Having retired from public life, this marks the first time President Carter and First Lady Rosa Lynn Carter have not been present at the build that bears their name. Today's event marked a week-long blitz of activity.
This is a joyful day in Charlotte. You can hear a symphony of hammers behind us as hundreds and hundreds of volunteers are coming together to build homes and bring attention to the desperate need for safe, decent, affordable housing here in Charlotte, around the country, and around the world.
Since 1984, when they put Habitat for Humanity on the map with their first volunteer build, the Carters have helped build and improve over 4,300 homes alongside more than 104,000 volunteers.
We turn now to Rory Rosell with another student news report. This week, we're focusing on homecoming.
Hey Trojans, it has been a while. For those of you who do not know me, I am Rory Rosell and I do our student news reports for the high school. And this week we have some pretty important events coming up. Can anyone guess what they are? Well, it's homecoming. What a shocker. This year's homecoming theme is Sunset Carnival, so think Santa Monica Pier. Homecoming will be October 14th, which is next Saturday. Homecoming tickets are $10 each, and Student Council and Administration would like to remind you that you will need to bring your student ID to get into the dance and to buy a ticket. They will not be selling tickets at the door, and this is a semi-formal event, so you will need to be dressed appropriately, otherwise you will be turned away. Tickets will be sold from November 9th to the 13th at both lunches. And now here is the next exciting thing. We are going to Homecoming Spirit Week. Monday is Family Pass Day. Freshmen are going to dress as toddlers, sophomores are going to dress as children, us juniors are going to dress as adults, and seniors dress as senior citizens. And the staff, they're going to be dressing how they used to when they were in high school. Tuesday is Rhyme Without Reason Day, Wednesday is Anything But a Backpack Day, Thursday is Pajama Day, and Friday is Extreme Maroon and Gold. Well, that is going to wrap up this edition of Student News. I'm Roy Rosell, and I know there was quite a bit to include, but we will see you next week.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside at our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. We have the moon and hot air balloons with that gorgeous weather. We'll take a closer look at our forecast after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, all up and down the Ace Country Radio Network and to your mobile device on the local BTV app. The app that just has that so much the thing that you love. Okay, 68 degrees in Fernley, 69 in Fallon, also in Carson City. Weather Twins at the top of the map. How cute. 62 in Tonopah makes them the cool spot. Goldfield not far off the mark at 64 degrees. In Beatty at 77. Amargosa all the way up to 81. 80 in Las Vegas makes them like number 2 and trying harder. And out in Death Valley, 91 still closed. And here in the paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look at our current temperature. Not too bad, 78 degrees. It was 79 just a minute ago. Winds out of the northwest is just 10 miles per hour. It's a pleasant day. Sun rose this morning at 6:40. Setting this evening, look for it in about an hour at 6:24. Just an hour to wait. I think you can do that. Clear skies tonight will give us beautiful star watching as we head to our low of 53 degrees. Humidity index at 41%. You think we'd have clouds tomorrow, but no, look. Sunshine like for the next 5-6 days. Look at that. Temperature's starting to rocket up. It's going to be a great weekend. 90 degrees will hit on Friday, and that will maintain through Monday with sunny skies and winds under 10 miles per hour. Great weekend for a barbecue. Good weekend to get outside. Maybe hit that pool one more time because it looks like temperature's starting to rocket down to 87 degrees. Next Tuesday, we get some cloud cover. Might be another storm system coming in. We'll keep an eye on it for you, all right? Back to the desk. Here's Unette Gentry.
Thanks, John. And all you foodies out there can actually combine your love for pizza with service. Pahrump Pizza Hut is hosting a night and a fundraiser this evening that's going to be giving back to the Pahrump Holiday Task Force. These coupons are redeemable, and whenever you use them, a portion of the profits will be donated back to the upcoming Holiday Community Meals Program. And you can participate by going to the Pizza Hut here in Pahrump at 920 Pahrump Valley Boulevard, or you can give them a call at 775-727-7952 to place your order. You can also order online. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks for joining us this evening, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Enjoy your pizza. Good night.